The court is back in session. Now, when I call your name, please come before the bench. You're gonna stand on the X. Is that Moise Beltran? Did I pronounce your first name right?
Yeah.
Moise Beltran. Okay, Mr. Beltran, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Beltran, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Beltran, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Beltran? You doing good? Mr. Beltran, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? You have to speak up.
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line that states you want to reset your case to hire your own attorney? Okay. Now, Mr. Beltran, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the document? And did you understand what you read?
The first page.
Yeah.
Told me that you have to fill
Oh,
out.
right. And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? It is? Okay. Now, Mr. Beltran, you're gonna stand on the X in front of our court coordinator when she moves from the window. You're gonna stand there and she's gonna reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Marlon Raleigh. Mr. Raleigh, your full name Marlon Raleigh?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Raleigh, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Raleigh, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Jackson, could you turn that camera around? Okay. Now, Mr. Raleigh, I have before me, well, first of all, how are you doing?
Fine. How about you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks, Fax. Now, Mr. Raleigh, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating that you want to apply for, or that you would like to, your case reset to hire your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Raleigh, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Riley, we're gonna have you have a seat in that chair right there, and then when he finishes at the window, you're gonna go to the window, and she's gonna reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Thank you. Jeffrey Calhoun. Okay. Mr. Calhoun, is your full name Jeffrey Paul Davis Calhoun?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Calhoun, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Calhoun, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Calhoun, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Calhoun?
I'm doing pretty good, sir.
That's good. That's good. Mr. Calhoun, I have before me a document that's titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Calhoun, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Calhoun, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want your case reset to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Calhoun, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Calhoun, our court coordinator is going to reset your case, give you an opportunity to hire your own attorney. And so you're gonna have a seat in that chair right there. And then when she's ready for you, you're gonna go to the window and to get your case reset. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Right. You too, sir.
This person, speak to the DO.
Michael Raven Peterson. You pronounce it Michael or Michelle?
It's Michael Raven. It's one word.
Oh, it's one word, Michael Raven. Oh, they got it separated.
They always do it.
Okay. Okay, Michael Raven, Ms. Peterson, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand out. How are you doing, Ms. Peterson?
I'm all right.
That's good. Now, Ms. Peterson, I've had before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the dot line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on line say you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
And I have another document, which is the affidavit of indigent. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And okay. Is that your signature on the line that's titled defendant signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Peterson, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the
sir.
best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Peterson, I read your affidavit of indigence based upon your answers. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Marva Provo. Our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Ms. Provo. Ms. Provo will also be giving information on how to contact you.
Okay, yes, sir.
We're going to ask that you're going to stand in front of our court coordinator to get that information.
Yes, sir.
Once you get that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You too. Yeah, yes, sir.
Oops. Brenda, court coordinator. He didn't, he never did sign this. He never did sign this. I just noticed it. No, this is on the one that was on the, he's gonna have to fill it out. The one that was on the thing, he didn't even sign it.
Okay.
Somebody wrote his name and he didn't even sign it. Okay. So he's gonna have to fill one out. Franklin Ross. Okay, let's see. Okay, your full name is Franklin Oliver Ross?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ross, would you please raise your right hand, Mr. Ross? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ross, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Ross?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Ross, I have two documents before me. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, it is.
Are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, they are.
I also have a document before me that's titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
Now, Mr. Ross, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Ross, I read your answers in these documents. Based upon your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you is Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds actually was just here. He came in earlier. I thought he might still been around. So our court coordinator is going to reset your case. You're going to stand on the X in front of the court coordinator. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Here you go. Oops. She had it sitting there. It just fell. It was just, it was one page, one fell. Is there anything on the floor or that's on the top? Well, it must be on the
That's
top.
the only thing.
Just give me the one on the top. I guess it was just one up here. I touched it and it fell down.
Was it this?
That goes together, I guess. Yeah, that goes with that. But it's here.
Just sitting there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. Araji. I was gonna interpret, Ms. Araji. Ask this gentleman if his name is Christian Marfin.
Su nombre completo es Cristian Morgan.
Cristian Alejandro Murphy Maldonado.
Christian Alejandro Marfin,
Maldonado.
Maldonado.
Maldonado. I have that as an AKA as well.
Right.
Okay, well, for this purpose, they have him, first name is Christian Marfin. Ask Mr. Marfin to raise his right hand.
Levanta la mano derecha.
Mr. Marfin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Quiere usted levantarse la verdad, todo de la enfrente de Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
No, but he can put his hand down.
Puedes bajar la mano.
Ask Mr. Marfin how he's doing.
Dice cómo está.
Muy bien.
Very good.
Very good. Okay. I'm gonna give you these two documents. Okay. Tell Mr. Marfin the first document that we have is judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. Hold on a minute. Mr. Okay. Okay, ask Mr. Marfin if he recognized a document that's titled Judge's Explanation of Defendant's Right Without an Attorney.
¿Usted no puede ese documento que firmaste?
¿Cómo?
No puede ese documento que firmaste. ¿Sí lo quieres? ¿Firmaste este documento?
Sí.
Yes.
Ask him if that's his signature on the line that's titled Defendant.
¿Y ese es su firma completo aquí?
Sí.
Yes.
And ask him if that's his initials on the line stating that he would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney.
Y eso sí se puede mencionar que quieres aplicar para
Sí.
Okay, now the next document is titled Affidavit of Injuries. Ask Mr. Marfin if he recognized that document.
¿No puedes ese documento que firmaste?
¿Cómo?
¿No puedes ese documento que firmaste?
¿Cómo?
Si recuerdas si levanto ese documento.
Sí.
Yes.
And ask Mr. Marfin if that's his signature on the second page of that document at the top.
¿Y ese es su firma completo?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Ask Mr. Marfin if you explain those documents to him in Spanish before he signed and initialed those documents.
Y antes de firmar los dos documentos, si te explico todo en español, lo que estabas firmando.
Sí.
Yes.
And ask Mr. Marfin if he understood everything that you explained to him.
¿Y usted entendió todo lo que estaba en la documento?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, now ask Mr. Marfin, is everything true and correct in those documents to the best of his knowledge?
Y todo lo que pusiste aquí es verdad.
Sí. Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Tell Mr. Marfin that I read the affidavit of injuries, and based on his answers, he meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to him is Attorney Charles Rojas, who is our Spanish-speaking attorney.
Okay. Dice que se llenaron todos los documentos que llenaste y sí. Y a marchar y no les conozco. Said okay.
Okay, okay. Now tell Mr. Marfin, you'll stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. She's gonna reset a case. Once this case is reset, you'll be free to go and tell him to have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Okay. ¿Quién me hace la muchacha?
What is, I didn't,
That's a two. It is two new companies.
Justin Chopper. The court is in session at cause number 331-546 and cause number 331-548. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Justin Chopper. Is it Justin Aladio Chopper? Mr. Chopper, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Chopper, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Chopper, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Chopper? That's good. Mr. Chopper, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature online as titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials online stating you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney? Also, I have a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant's signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Chopper, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chopper, I read your affidavit of indigence, and based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Baldwin Samuel. Mr. Chopper, our court coordinator, is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Samuel. Mr. Samuel will be given information on how to contact you. You're gonna stand at the window on the X, the far X in front of our court coordinator. She'll give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Next case is cause number 332070. Case is styled State of Texas versus Christopher Flores. Mr. Flores, is your full name Christopher Flores? Mr. Flores, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Flores, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You are.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Mr. Flores, how are you doing?
Good.
That's good. Now, this is cause number 332070. Now, Mr. Flores, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document? You have to speak up.
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, Mr. Flores, this document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of the same document is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Flores, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read? And is everything true and correct in these documents? Okay. Mr. Flores, I read your answers in the affidavit of indigence. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Joel Vasquez. And our court coordinator is going to research your case to give you information on how to contact Mr. Vasquez, and Mr. Vasquez will give you information on and they'll give Mr. Vasquez information on how to contact you as well. Just have a seat in this chair at the end of the table, and when she's ready for you, she'll call you to the window. There you go. Next case is cause number 332170, case of style, the state of Texas versus Timothy Sims. Your full name is Timothy Edward Sims. Mr. Sims, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Sims, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Sims, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Sims? You doing okay? That's good. Mr. Sims, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defense without an Attorney. You recognize this document? Do you recognize this document?
I couldn't hear the first part.
Okay, I have two documents before me.
Mhm.
First document is titled Judge's Explanation of to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? You need to take a look at it?
Yes.
You recognize it? Okay, now, Mr. Sims, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Or are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Also, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And at the top of this document on page 2, there's a signature on the line that's titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Sims, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Sims, based on your answers in the affidavit of indigence, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Your attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Kyle Walker. Okay, Mr. Sims, just go behind that wall and have a seat in the chair with the yellow and black tape, and when she's ready for you, she'll call you to the window. And Mr. Denson, you got John West again. Okay, this is cause number 330682, case style state of Texas versus Joby Jerome Denson. Mr. Denson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Denson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Denson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Denson, you may put your hand down. Mr. Denson, how are you doing?
I'm good there, Ernie.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Denson. I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Denson, is there a black pen there? You're supposed to put your initials on the line where you have checked to say you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney. Is there a pen up there? Okay, thank you. Put your initials on that line where you have it checked.
Oh, same line?
Yeah, it's supposed to be your initials. Okay. Now, Mr. Denson, I also have another document here. This document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Denson, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Denson, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Denson, I read the answers in the affidavit of indigence. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. An attorney that's appointed to represent you, actually, who's next on the list is the same attorney you got appointed previously, which is John West.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
and just have a seat at that chair. When the court coordinator is ready for you, she's gonna call you up, and once she call you up, go to that window, and once she's finished, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
There you go. Do we have any more down there? Hmm.
Thank you. Mr. Sims is next. You Mr. Sims?
Timothy Sims. That's Joby Denson. That's
You don't have a phone, telephone? You don't? Yeah, you got to put that in there.
Satali Avila. Okay. Your full name is Satali Avila. And this is cause number 310762. Ms. Avila, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Avila, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Avila, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Ms. Avila? That's good. Ms. Avila, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are these your initials on the line that's titled, you want to apply for the
Yes.
court-appointed attorney? Now, also, I have another document here. This document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Villa, there's a signature on the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Villa, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you read these documents? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Mr. Villa, I read your answers in the affidavit of indigence. And based on your answers, you don't meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Let's see. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you don't meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And so at this time, so what we're gonna do is your case needs to be. Oops. Okay, so Ms. Villa, we're gonna reset your case, give you an opportunity to hire an attorney or to go and talk to someone. Have you talked to any attorneys?
Yes, I have. I have talked to one, he told me he would charge me 6,000 and, we have a loan that we have to get paid off, so I couldn't get it at the moment.
Okay, what I'll do is, I mean, there are several attorneys you can, I mean, there are a lot of attorneys in this area or in the state of Texas for that matter. So you can, we'll give you an opportunity to talk to, go around and talk to some and we're gonna reset your case 60 days. Give you an opportunity to do that, okay?
I have a question. 60 days, I feel like it's a long time.
Well, I mean, if you needed a short time, well, we're just saying to give you 60 days to see if you can hire an attorney. In essence, what we do is give you time to raise the funds,
Yeah,
if you need to raise the funds.
okay, that's fine. Yes.
Okay. All right, just have a seat, in one of those chairs, and then when our court coordinator's ready, she'll call you up. Oh. Here you go. None of those boxes are green, is checked, right? On that, like, any state benefits or nothing like that. Okay. Same thing on this one. Carolyn Briscoe. Oh, goodness. Okay. This is cause number 331596. Case is style of State of Texas versus Carolyn Jean Briscoe. Ms. Briscoe, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Briscoe, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Briscoe, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Briscoe, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Briscoe? That's good. Let's see, this is cost number need a copy of this. Okay, now, Ms. Briscoe, I have two documents before me. The first document that I have is titled Judge's Explanations to Defendant Without Attorney. Or Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document, Mr. Briscoe? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, this document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Briscoe is on page 2 of this document. There is signature on the line that's titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Briscoe, before you signed any initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Briscoe, I read your answers on the documents. Based upon the answers, you do not meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And what we're gonna do, we could reset your case to give you an opportunity to talk to some lawyers. We normally reset it 60 days, give you opportunity to talk to some lawyers, see if you can hire one. Now, also, Ms. Williams, could you hand this to Ms. Briscoe? Your case is a assault, family violence case. And so we have some bond conditions that I need to go over with you. Okay, yes. That's gonna go with it. Hmm? Yeah. Okay, Ms. Briscoe. First, now this document that was handed out to you is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Now, Ms. Briscoe, I'll go over these conditions with you. And it reads, following arrest and/or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, A2 and C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 4 doesn't apply. That only applies in DWI cases. Now, Ms. Briscoe, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bonds can be revoked. And if your bond is, if your bond is revoked, that means that you could be arrested and put in the Jefferson County Jail. Now, Ms. Briscoe, your case has been reset. Now, that's your copy. You can keep your copy. And if you get an attorney, you also can provide that to your attorney as well. Now, your case is being reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Please reset Ms. Briscoe's case at least 60 days. Ms. Briscoe, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand on the X in front of our court coordinator, and she's gonna give you the information on resetting your case. And once you get it, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Okay.
I have a question. My last name doesn't have an E on the end.
Oh, give me that. That was my mistake, because it's a CO. Okay. Thanks. Change it on here too. Here you go. Thank you. Alfred, what's that, Destiny Alfred? Do we have one on? Oh, his must be is that Brad Thibodeau? Oh, that's you, okay. You could put his form down there. I think he wants to talk to the prosecution. Miss Alfred, your full name is Destiny Alfred, Destiny Alfred or Destiny J. Alfred?
It's Justice Marie.
Hmm?
It's Justice Marie. I don't know if y'all have both of them, but it's both of them on my birth certificate.
Oh. Yes, Justice Marie Alfred,
Yes, sir.
yeah. And this is cause number 332-282. And Ms. Alfred, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanations to Defendants Without Attorney. Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Ms. Alfred, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line that states you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Alfred, I also have a document that is titled Affidavit of Innocence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Alfred, let me do this here now. I'm looking here at your, let me do this. I'm gonna put that on, put this on mute. Okay, now, Ms. Alfred. I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this document, there's a signature on the line that's titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, Ms. Alfred, did I swear you in? Okay, Ms. Alfred, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Ms. Alfred, I looked at your answers on the affidavit of indigence. And I looked at your responses on the judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. Did you read this document?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything on these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Ms. Alfred, based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is attorney William Wilkerson.
Does they show what's the case? Because I just went to municipal court this morning and they said I was coming from when I went to jail in March.
Okay, you're charged with eluding and fleeing a police officer.
Okay.
Ms. Alfred, you're gonna stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. She's gonna give you the information on how to contact Mr. Wilkerson. Mr. Wilkerson would also be given information on how to contact you.
Yes.
Once you get that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
We need to call a prosecutor. Oh, yeah. The prosecutor's gonna be down in a minute.